My name is Leon. I work at the positron instrument here. And we are going to look at the NEPOMUC instrument, but specifically my instrument, which is a sub-instrument, so to say, because we can do lots of different things with the positrons that are created by NEPOMUC. So let's go to my part of the instrument. One of my first dream jobs was actually to become a pilot. Even up to 11th grade, I had this sort of in my mind. But then I realized that, first of all, that's maybe not a job with a great future. And also, I wanted to get a degree first. And then I decided to do either engineering or physics. For engineering, you had to do an industrial internship, which I started and disliked with a passion. So I decided to do physics instead. I did all of my degrees at TUM, which is also why I'm with my group for now more than 5 years. I studied physics as a bachelor degree at TUM, and then at the time you could do 4 different master degrees, and I did applied and engineering physics. But it doesn't really matter for your master degree all that much, but for me I wanted to do something practical, non-theoretical, because I am not good at math. So I decided to do experimental physics. Turns out now I'm doing theoretical stuff anyways for my PhD, so let's see how that turned out. But now it's actually quite fun because I don't have to do the math anymore because someone else did it for me. During bachelor and master here at TUM, you have to do something called advanced lab courses. I did a lab course that studied positron lifetime, which is quite actually surprisingly common experiment done at many universities, because you don't necessarily need a reactor to do it. The supervisor of that lab course offered that they had a bachelor thesis, so I decided to hit him up, and it turned out that they had a fit for me, so I started working at the group, and I never left because it was fun to work there. NEPOMUC is the neutron-induced positron source, Munich. So we are producing positrons, and positrons are antiparticles. Positrons are very useful to investigate certain defects in materials. So here, this is one of the instruments that we use in order to analyze how many defects are inside of a sample, specifically open volume defects. You can imagine this, certain atoms missing from their spot, so to say. And then we have what's called a vacancy. And vacancies are interesting for many reasons, and it heavily depends on the materials that we are looking at. So for example, in semiconductors, which are of course used in all electronics, these vacancies are actually undesirable because electricity cannot flow freely anymore. So it creates resistance. It's one of the reasons why your phone gets hot when you scroll through Instagram. In other materials, these vacancies are actually desirable. So for example, my project is investigating light metal alloys, specifically aluminum alloys, which are used of course in space applications, but also for all sorts of things because they are very light and very durable alloys. And in those alloys, you actually typically want those vacancies because you can form certain clusters around those vacancies and they make the materials stronger. Yeah? So we can investigate those hardening effects in metals very closely with this instrument. We have a large column that we guide the positrons from top to bottom. And then in the center there, where we can't really see, is where the sample position would be located. And then we can see these sort of bucket-looking things, and they are actually the detectors that we detect what happens inside of the sample with. So I'm almost 30 now, so of course with my first paycheck I got a coffee maker and now I got a bicycle. So now I do lots of cycling on the weekends if there's good weather. Since I started here, and actually since much longer, I've been bouldering, so I do lots of bouldering. But also the typical, I like playing video games as well. I like to cook at home. Eating in general is a good hobby, I think. Study something that interests you. I think it's a bad idea to go after stuff that you think would give you a good job in the future. If you're interested in that field, it will automatically give you more opportunities. Just follow your interests and your dreams and your nerdy obsessions, probably.